Hey guys, Coach John here. I want to show you a couple variations of this lunge walk or this barbell twist exercise, as some throws coaches call it when I had first seen it. So I just kind of adapted from some of that. And I wanted to work in a little different plane of motion and basically out of this lunge position. So a couple things to consider. Do you want to be on this like tightrope? Do you want to be really unstable and have to work on all this more pure stability side of things? That's kind of one option, or maybe something to consider if you're coming off of injury or just want to really hone in on that stability side of things, make that challenge or that challenge for the day to a little bit wider or maybe even quite wide. And same thing with the depth, to how low can you go, how low do you want to go versus being tall. I wouldn't recommend being too tall. I would be towards that athletic, more thrower position, more that coveted position where we're like that half quarter to half squat-ish. Again, a lot of throwers just don't have the stability, bad knees, whatever. So this could help hone that in for you. Adding, again, stability while we're rotating, only a good thing. Nice coordination, combination for priming the body. So first variation, just super light and easy with just a simple medicine ball, something everybody probably has already. And again, maybe too fundamental for a lot of more advanced throwers. You're not going to get a ton out of this. It's not quite as fun to do, but I'm just going to rotate the opposite side as that leg comes through. I can go backwards, play with that speed. The advantage of this one, or I could, at any time, I can work some rotation in here if I want to add more. So you see my body has to organize itself to stabilize quite a bit more. So consider playing around with that. And anything where we're offset, again, my little bit weaker link and reason kind of coming up with some variations of this is that lunge position is a little bit more challenging for me, having some other issues around that area outside of a just specific throw. So even if you're not a thrower, this potentially has a lot of value. Most people aren't very good at rotational power unless they train for a lot of that. So consideration there. And the more classic barbell twists, this is a regular 20 kilo barbell, so you can play around with different positions from all the way collar to collar to somewhere in closer, and seeing different variations online too. They're more like pushing off of the body, they're not touching the body. Stepping and pushing there. Come back into focus here. Again, I can go forward and back and being more pushing into this here, or I could drop down a little bit lower. This is more like how Ryan Krauser does them, a little bit off the body. He's not sitting into the body. My personal favorite is more here against the hips. Then I can take all that more like slack out and just be thinking like pushing off with the hip, driving more leg dominant and letting the arms just be hooks. And there's a nice component of that deceleration as I come back, as I come through there. I'm having to decelerate that, which is another overlooked component of throwing, and just resiliency all around. Good stability, all this ability to stop my rotation and stabilize, plethora of different benefits. So there's that. I could load this a little bit too with, again, if I was really strong, I could have it's like 25s on the side or something like that. The more weight gets farther away from my body, the more challenging, and that's a nice sensation for a thrower. Also with the like an actual caber, I've done this with a caber, kind of setting it in the hips and pushing and pulling. It gets a little harder to stabilize on the actual caber. It'd be nice to have like some straps so that, again, the hands don't become like the weakest link. The upper body doesn't come into the weakest link, is the way I look at it. So a variation here with this throw bag. This is just a 20-pound throw bag. I could go maybe up to my weight for distance, like heavyweight. So 40 to 50 pounds for most people would be most likely plenty. And then again, I could add element of speed. I can add more of the stability components to get, really the optimal challenge that I'm looking for here. So again, just give you a short range version of that. I could do this for, say probably maximum about 10 steps forward, 10 steps back, or 20 steps total. I don't want to turn this into like the super high endurance exercise, but again, maybe more preseason, getting these quality repetitions, getting everything, these tissues more pliable again, and just that resiliency component all the way through, you know, my body in here into my, you know, hips and legs. A lot of stability here. Having to balance and coordinate all this movement too is only going to be a good thing for, you know, my body here. Got the dog posing for the camera, but anyways, let me know how that goes. Let me know if you come up with some other variations. Love to hear about it. So check that one out, guys.